Friday, Floss Tube. It is Flossmas day 13. Day 13 already. And I'm drinking out of my new mug today. I'm waiting for my friends, the Fiber Friends, to arrive. We're going to record a new episode today together. And it's a secret, but I bought 3 of these mugs and tucked one in each of their Christmas presents for this year. So I don't think you could get any more appropriate for a knitter with that cable design on the outside of that mug. So it's lovely. I think they'll like them. I think they'll like them a lot. So I know today is Friday, and I know usually I do a stitch with me. I'm not going to be doing a stitch with me today because I have another surprise lined up for Flossmas day 13. Instead of a stitch with me, we're going to go and visit a pair of very special stitchers. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them in just a minute, because what I'm going to do first is show you the stuff that I've got to share with you today, because once I tell you who we're going to visit today, you won't be interested in anything else I have to tell you today. You're going to want to go and watch them. So first of all, I had mentioned yesterday that I was going to be working on Josh's quilt, and I did get a good start. I've cut out probably about half of the squares that I need, and I got started on the piecing because I wanted to have an idea of what the 4 square was going to look like. So I'm doing a 4 square, just like Christine Stitch All the Things in her little quilting tutorial. My quilt for Josh is going to be that type of quilt. So Christine's tutorial is excellent. If you've ever considered getting into quilting, the whole series that she's done on putting together a quilt that's very simple and straightforward, her instructions are amazing, just like everything else that Christine does. So that's going to be the pink block, and here's the blue block. So this is the floral print. That's actually fabric that Josh sent me herself. Very special fabric to her. That was her godmother's fabric that she inherited when she passed away. And about a year ago, she sent me a huge box of fabric. So I'm taking some of those special prints and I'm going to turn them into a quilt for my friend. So I have, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I finished 6 blocks last night. So I hope to finish another 6 tonight and be on my way. So well and truly started. I always love piecing. I love piecing, and then the ironing so you can see what the pattern looks like on the quilt block. I love that. So I think there might be some more of that in my weekend future ahead. The other thing that I worked on since the last time I spoke with you was my Abby Rose Designs Yuletide on Thistle Hill. That's the cover photo there. And I did get some progress in the last couple of days. So I finished, I had thought I was done the bottom border before, but I had a couple other small little motifs that I was missing, so I filled those in. I went up the other side, stitched those motifs there. So next up this weekend is finishing a little more of this border, and then I'm gonna come over to this corner and start with the snow, and then start building my houses. So lovely design, and really, as you can tell, this is a 36 count linen. It's definitely R&R Reproductions fabrics, but I can't remember the colorway. But it's a 36 count. It stitches more like almost a 40 count, which is normal when you're working with a hand dye, because in the dyeing process it does tend to shrink up just a teeny tiny bit. So I am using only 1 strand of floss on this, and the coverage is great. I think the coverage is pretty fantastic. So there you go, you can see that. So very pleased. So the picture isn't that much smaller than the actual design is going to be itself. So pretty happy with how that's turning out. Other than that, I put a few rounds in my father-in-law's sock. I put a couple of rows into Sarah's Afghan that I've been working on. I worked on a few other Christmas gifts for my fiber friends, and they're all packed up in secret. So, well, one for Adrian. Louise's gift is, well, it's a joint gift between Adrian and I, and she's bringing the big part of Louise's gift. So, we'll be sharing those on the Fiber Friends podcast. The other thing that I want to talk about before I send you over to our special guests of the day is the fundraising for Muscular Dystrophy Canada. Yesterday, or well, 2 days ago, when I went to Sarnia to visit my friends, Dawn and Lisa. Dawn is also a project bag maker, and Dawn has very, very generously donated a bag set for our raffle giveaway. So just give me a minute. Let me show you the bag first because it's so pretty, and it's a set. So it's this is gonna fit an 8x8 perfectly. She has boxed the bottom, but just a little bit. You can see just a little bit there. So there's a little bit of depth in the bottom, and then this really adorable coordinating notions tote. And I love what she's done with these corners, these triangle corners on the bottom. And Dawn, I am totally going to steal this from you because I want to start making bags that have these little corners on them because I think that is just adorable. I love that. So isn't that a nice touch? So Dawn has very generously donated this bag set for giveaway, for raffle. So the way the raffle is going to work, and I've heard back from Megan, and our total as of December the 11th is $775 Canadian that we have raised so far. And that includes the money from Michelle Bendy's auctions, the people that have paid for those auction items, and anybody who has donated directly to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. The pattern sales on Patty Break's website, her Etsy site, those are separate until January. So I believe she had sold about 230 patterns as of a few days ago. So, but that money hasn't been calculated into our totals yet. And that the pattern sales are separate from what the raffle entries are for. So we have raised $775 so far. I'm really hoping to make it to $3,000 by the end of December. So if you can find any way that you would be able to donate $1 or $2 towards Muscular Dystrophy Canada, the link is in the drop-down box below this video. If you directly donate to that link that takes you to Muscular Dystrophy Canada, the backslash at the end says off the grid. Any of those donations are counted directly towards our total amount. And if you do that, I ask you then to email me, caroline@evertote.com, and put in your subject heading, I donated to MDC. I separate out those emails and keep track of them. The order that they come in to my email, that is your entry number for the raffle. And then in January, at the beginning of January, I'm going to raffle off. I'm going to randomly choose numbers for the raffle items, and then I will mail these out to you. So I hope to have in between 10 to 15 different raffle prizes, and this will be one of them, this amazing bag set. There will be bags from me as well. There will be a few patterns that I have and a couple other smaller items as my small way to say thank you for donating. So let's see if we can raise some more money by the end of the month. The auction is still ongoing for this week over on Michelle Bendy's Instagram page. There is another amazing donation from Kelly Stadola. Another, it's not the Bitsy Bob. It's the flat one with the, I can't remember what it's called, but it's amazing. And again, she's doing the same thing with adding the ornament to it from 123 Stitch. Extremely generous. McKenna of 1884 Stitchery has donated some amazing prizes. Go and check it out. There's also a sweater quantities worth of Malabrigo. Amazing, amazing. So thank you again to Michelle for hosting the auctions that are benefiting. Really, so kind, and a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Okay, so that's it for everything else that I had to share with you today. So now, instead of the Stitch With Me today, back at the end of November, I contacted Gary Parr and Vonna Pfeiffer, you know them, you love them, of Fiber Talk, and I asked them if they would do a video for us for Flossmas, and they agreed. So at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, if you go onto YouTube, the link will be in my drop-down box below, just in case you can't find them. Gary and Vonna have done a video for us. And so instead of a Stitch With Me video tonight, I really think that you're gonna love it. I asked them if they would do a video on some of their favorite things, some of their favorite stitching tools, things that they can't live without, things that they would want for Christmas if they didn't have them, just those special little things that make their stitching journey a little bit more fun and, you know, useful. So the link will be in the drop-down box below, and you can go and visit them at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think their video is about 45 minutes long, so it's even a little longer than my usual Stitch With Me's. And that's a little gift for you guys tonight. So happy stitching, happy Friday. I hope you'll join me over on the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid, for our regular weekly Friday night stitching party, posting your progress photos of your start and your end point. And I'll see you tomorrow for Flossmas Day 14. Happy stitching.